Hi guys, Chick here with day 54 of the 77-day video challenge. And as we continue our narrative, as you recall, Jackie had been in the hospital overnight and they called us early in the morning and said she had taken a turn for the worse and they had to put her in ICU. By the time we were all able to get our acts together, get dressed, and get back up to the hospital, Jackie's moments of awareness were becoming few and far between. Every now and then she would become conscious enough to speak a few words, but for the most part, conversation was just not happening. And it was becoming more and more apparent to all of us that her time with us was getting short. I have to tell you, over the next few days, 2 days, everyone we knew was praying for her and or visiting us at the hospital to support our family. For 2 nights, the ICU waiting room was just packed with people. Sometimes there were 20, 30 people there supporting us, and occasionally one of them could go in and see her for a couple of minutes. They didn't let anybody stay very long. But it did allow people that were very close to her to get some closure. God showed up again and again during this time. One of the most amazing miracles that happened during that time was, although she was completely out of it, every time one of our grandchildren was allowed in to see her, she would wake up, she would recognize them, she would know who they were, speak their name, maybe even snuggle with them a little bit for a few moments. It was just an amazing thing to see. But at one point, the doctors called the immediate family into the room and they let us know that we had a decision to make. They could either just make her as comfortable as they possibly could, or they could try to revive her kidney. At this point, her kidneys were failing, and they could try to do dialysis on her to try to revive her kidneys, and maybe she would gain consciousness again. But as we talked about that, we knew that that would involve putting a large port in her chest. And she had told us before that she didn't want to go to extreme measures just to stay in this world. So we told the doctors to just make her as comfortable as possible. I thank God for the fact that all my children were there and my brother-in-law was there. So we were able to make that decision together. At that point, we put her in palliative care so they could just keep her comfortable. And then an amazing thing, they decided that they had made an error and that maybe they could get her kidneys to kick back in by giving her some antibiotics. And they tried that, and actually it sort of worked. Her kidneys began to function again, but only for a couple of days, and then they started failing again. Then they began shutting down again. She was never able to regain consciousness. And a couple of days later, on December 15th, a week after she'd gone into the hospital, she quietly and peacefully passed into the arms of our Lord and Savior. When it was all over, we'd all said our goodbyes, and we all gathered at my house to share our fondest memories with Jackie and with each other, and shared stories of how we had witnessed her ministering to so many people, to our clients in the addiction care world, to others, friends and family, and to each and every one of us
She was an amazing woman, and we were all very fortunate to know her. I'm going to close today with the way I began this series. I walked a mile with pleasure. She chattered all the way, but left me none the wiser for all she had to say. I walked a mile with sorrow, and ne'er a word said she. But oh, the things I learned from her when sorrow walked with me. We'll see you tomorrow, one day